Namaste, it's the Spiritual Daywalker, hashtag Schrodinger's cards, with your tarot card reading for the next new moon phase from 30th of May until 14th of June. Virgo, this is you. It is a Gemini new moon, meaning it's about truth and communication. And for you, I somehow get the intuition that you're in manifesting mode. Maybe it's because you see the truth about all these neat little boxes of categorizing things, and you're learning how to communicate them to the universe, right? You're communicating your truth, what it is you need, also to the people around you. Maybe it's like, yeah, you know, all those little tics you got, it's like things needing to be in the same place all the time, right? You're actually telling people, you're not getting frustrated about people neglecting that, because how can they know if you're not telling them? Tell them, right? And that new moon is kind of resetting your truth around communication and your communication around truth. See where I'm getting with this? This is going to be an interesting reading, I feel. Very much so. That being said, it's a general reading. So if the message doesn't resonate with you, feel free to drop it. If it does resonate with you, feel free to drop a comment, let me know, like and subscribe. I don't do love readings. If love comes up in a reading, that is on you. That means you're manifesting it, right? You're attracting it. But I don't want you to attract some bullshit into your reality just because I say so. Because life is a self-fulfilling prophecy, is all a projection of your expectations and the way you feel about things and whatever. So that's that. It's just an energy reading from the energy you're moving out of, the energy you are in, and the energy you're moving into. So that's exactly it. So let's see what is waiting for you in this new moon phase. You're coming from an energy of the Two of Swords. You've been holding on to your tics, right? You've been holding on to some stuff. Like, Two of Swords is an energy that, well, can go both ways. It's a card of intuition, but it's also trying to shield your intuition against some other outside influences. So it's about coping mechanisms in a way. So how I always introduce this card is like, it's about your coping mechanisms, and they have been valuable in the past, but now here they are in the past. So you're kind of coming from this energy, right? Trying to hold on to some shit you hold dear, right? Some mindsets, using, like some mindsets you use to protect what you love or what you deem important. You're moving into an energy of judgment in reverse. So some harsh truth or harsh decision you're dealing with right now, is it a judgment call you have to make, or is it some judgment that is placed upon you, you are dealing with? The latter resonates more. Let's see in the clarifications. Because judgment is also taking stock just before the cycle closes. It's the card before the last card in the tarot. Like, the next card is the World card, which is closing out the entire fucking cycle. So judgment is also like taking stock and being totally fair with what worked in the past and what didn't. It feels like some judgment you're dealing with right here is not sitting right with you, not accepting it, or it's just tough to accept that it's not fair. Can be. Let's see. You're moving into the energy of the Emperor in reverse. So it's not, well, you're not struggling with self-discipline, right? You're a Virgo. So self-discipline is basically in your blood. What you are struggling with is trying to be too controlling at times. Like, you can't control people. There's only so much you can control. You control the neat little boxes that you put things in, that you categorize your thoughts and emotions, right? And coming from that Two of Swords, there has been something you're holding on to that is not in your best interest, and you're kind of lacking the right judgment to turn it around, right? Because you think you need to control it. That being said, the overall energy for the reading, what is all this about right here? It's the Knight of Coins. That is cool. Like I said, you're in manifesting mode. You're trying to, gain some stability in your reality. You're manifesting something in your reality in terms of earth energy, which is wealth, abundance, right? Stability, money even, right? And that is very freaking cool. Just to be too controlling about this is not going to serve you well. Let's see in the clarifications how we're working with this energy right here. The Two of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Coins in reverse, the Death card, and the Nine of Swords in reverse. So you've been working on something that had to die. That's why it didn't work out. And the Nine of Swords, thinking about it too much, right? It's like you're not able to put in the work because something fell away that was crucial to whatever you were working on, and you're in your head about it. How did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Whatever. But there in the middle, crossing this, is the Death card. The Death means something has to make way. Something has to fall away. That is a cool energy, actually. That is the only thing you need to do with the Death card is acceptance, right? Acceptance and trust that whatever is going to come after death will be much better, right? So, Eight of Coins in reverse means you're working on some earth energy, like you're putting in the work and it's not paying off, sort of. Or you want to put in the work, but you're not able to because you're so stuck in your head about where to start, what to think of, over-categorizing things, like full-blown overthinking that is kind of holding you back from putting in the work where it's needed, right? And in the middle there is that Death card that is saying something in those Nine of Swords, something in your thoughts, in your mindset has to shift for you to be able to manifest what you truly desire. And since it's clarifying the Two of Swords right here, it has to be some coping mechanism from the past, some mindset you used in the past that is outdated now. Just, let it die, let it fall away. Like something you were applying, right? Some mindset, some thoughts, some course of action you were applying that didn't work out, or see it as it is. So it didn't work out, so it has to go. You have to change that mindset around it, right? That's what you're in right now, is figuring out that judgment, that evaluation on the highest level. Is like, so that angel basically here, see? That angel is basically, let me tell you something. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it might need to die, right? So I'm a vegetarian. Like no animals were harmed in the production of this video. What I mean is, like, take a good look at what worked and what didn't, and if it didn't work, let it die. Get out of your head about it. There's nothing you can do about it but change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. And that's that judgment coming in. It's like that angel telling you, it's like, yeah, be real about it. Just be real about it. What mindsets don't you need anymore because they've not been serving you well in the recent past? The Sun in reverse means that's something that you held dear in the past. And it's not easy to look at this and not easy to let that go, right? It's costing you a lot of energy to let that go. Maybe because you think you have to actively let it go. Letting go is something passive. That's a funny thing. Have you ever tried to actively let go of something? It doesn't work like that, right? Actively letting go means pushing it away. That's actively letting go. It's not going to work like that. You have to realize if it doesn't work, then you don't need it. And that's the moment you are letting go of the idea of having to hold on, right? That's what you're letting go of, right? You're loosening your grip. That's exactly it. So if it costs you energy, you're doing it wrong, really, right? And that it always costs energy, but in preparation for that, right? There's some bullshit you got to get out the way, yada, 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 until that switch flips and you're like, actually, why? Why am I doing this? Right? I don't need it, right? And that's the moment when it just kicks in and it becomes effortless. That's beautiful. Because there's that ace of coins right there. Crossing this is that ace of coins. Ace of coins is the full potential of earth energy, of manifestation, right? So it costs you a lot of energy, but there's that ace of coins in the middle. It's like, yeah, I know what I want from life. I know what I want to generate in this reality. Maybe not exactly the way to go about it, but I know the full potential is there, right? That's exactly it. See what's bookending this? Is the Four of Coins. Yeah, well, the Four of Coins is trying to manifest exactly that. It also can be too controlling. But it says it is working out in a sense, right? So the Eight of Coins in reverse is like, oh, you've been pushing, you've been working hard, and somehow it didn't work because you're working at everything at the same time, because that Nine of Swords is clouding your judgment, because there's something in there wasn't meant to be worked on, and it's kind of blocking you. That was in the past, and now you're in that judgment mode where, well, it took a lot of energy from you, and you're denying yourself happiness with the Sun in reverse because you think that what didn't work in the past was kind of your fault, but it wasn't. It was just supposed to leave, right? It was supposed to let you go. Not you letting go of it, but it letting go of you. That's the trick, right? That's exactly the trick. So there's that Ace of Coins in reverse it's not in reverse, it's upright. Right? There's that Ace of Coins crossing that Sun. So you're gaining some energy back from the idea of generating that stability. That is cool. The Four of Coins, well, it's good news. It's good news for your bank account, for your idea of what to manifest, how to manifest it. It still ties in a little, though, with the Two of Swords energy. So like there's some routines or some courses of action that you give too much energy to, right? Because it's working with the Sun right here, right? And the Sun in reverse and the Four of Coins means like, if you're giving it energy and it's not progressing, something is off and you're pushing too hard, right? So then you move into that Emperor energy in reverse in the near future, which is basically saying, try to let go. Try to let go of the idea of having to control everything, because you know the Ace of Coins is there. There is that full potential. Something is leaving you with the Death card. Then coming into that Ace of Coins where you realize, oh, there's a whole lot, like with this gone, there's a whole lot of new potential, right? But if you're trying to apply old ways of going about it with this Four of Coins, be too controlling about it, costs you a lot of energy for very little outcome. So now you're realizing in that Emperor in reverse, clarified by the King of Swords, the World card in reverse, and the Three of Swords, is you're realizing that there is some grief you need to let go of, some mindsets you need to shift, right? Because the King of Swords, he is about speaking the truth, only accepting the truth, and it can be a little harsh though, can be a little controlling though, but he is truthful about this Three of Swords, bookending this. And the Three of Swords is, well, a feeling of betrayal, right? A feeling of, well, it didn't work out in the past, why should it work out in the future? I was working so hard for it, and somehow I just couldn't get it right. Yeah, well, that's because something in there wasn't right. But now with this gone, once you let it go, and it is dying, whatever it is, whatever didn't work out in the past, it has left you already, right? And now, once you realize you only entertain the courses of action that do not eat away your energy, right? And you focus on the full potential, and that this potential is there, that's when you realize self-discipline is good, but a little less control will help you to close out that cycle. Because you are in the judgment in reverse. And crossing that King of Swords clarification is the world, right? So that's the next step. So you're moving from the judgment into the world. The cycle is closing. Death means something is leaving you. Then getting you into that judgment is like, okay, so what did actually work? Don't focus on what didn't, because it's gone. Focus on what did actually work. Like, what cost me energy, but where is that full potential? How can I make that full potential work for me, right? And then you're moving into the Emperor in reverse. It's like, yeah, you're still in that discipline mode. You still want to go for it, work for it, because there is that mindset of you that hard work pays off. But it's still, the best way to manifest is effortlessly, right? Effortlessly in the sense that it comes natural to you, and you don't have to be overly controlling, because you know, well, you know your passion is going to drive it forward. You know that if you just like do your due diligence, stuff will work, right? That's perfect. That is perfect, right? The only thing that stands a little in your way of being like, you're trying to control stuff, and then you don't see that a cycle is closing that is bigger than you can imagine, right? Something that has died here is so crucial to the way you're doing stuff that it's closing out an entire cycle of tarot. Like, this is the last card in the deck. If this pops up, it means there's some major shift happening here. And it has to do with you being truthful about what had hurt you in the past, right? Because the Three of Swords is your thoughts around matters of the heart, right? The feeling of betrayal is a very cognitive thing, right? It is something stuck in your mind of like, yeah, but he did this and he did that, or she did this and she did that, and you're like, humph, you know? That's that feeling of betrayal. Or maybe if you're angry at the universe, like, I put all this work in and it didn't work out like that, and there's that, humph. If you're honest about it, if you're really honest about it, seeking that truth in there, then you ask yourself with this King of Swords right here, you ask yourself, yeah, why didn't it work? And not because I put all the work in. No. Why was it supposed to not work? What was missing, or what was too much, right? And that's when you realize, something is coming to an end here. Something is really coming to an end here that is going to enable the full potential of this Ace of Coins right here. Because you know it's in the cards. You feel it. You feel that the success you're dreaming of is just before really coming to fruition. And that's why you're so eager to propel it forward. But that's when you're too controlling, when your ambition kills your action, right? Because you're overly ambitious, working on all things at the same time. And in the course of this, like, just using old paradigms. But there's an entirely new paradigm waiting for you. Like that Knight of Coins. He knows where to invest his time, energy, and money. That's what you're learning right now, is to be this Knight of Coins. Right? So, you know you're deserving, you know what to do, you know what to work on, and you know what to not to work on. You know what works and what doesn't. That's what you're learning here. The only thing you need to do right now is to accept or to trust that whatever it is you're going through is going to prepare you for something much greater, right? The moment you trust that, that's when you turn the judgment around. It's like, maybe this was supposed to fail because reasons, right? Maybe this was supposed to fail because I was working with an outdated mindset with this Two of Swords right here. Maybe I just need to know that I'm deserving of it and that it will work out as long as I'm just, staying on it, right? Well, yeah, you get out what you put in, but if you overwork and if you're too ambitious, clinging on to stuff, then you don't let the universe, the universe can't work for you if you're just so controlling, right? So the good shit cannot come in if you're trying to, do everything according to plan. So how can the universe surprise you, right? And there's that full potential of the Ace of Coins that you're working towards. And you're working with some very controlling patterns right here with the Four of Coins. But it's getting better though, right? Because judgment is a major arcana. You cannot get around it. Like judgment is gonna come, right? And you yourself are doing the judging, right? It's just the question is, are you judging yourself or are you judging objectively on what worked out and what didn't, still believing in the full potential of whatever it is you want to manifest? And that's what you're going into. It's like, okay, if I'm honest about myself in this King of Swords energy, I couldn't see that some cycle has to close because I was so caught up in thinking about feeling betrayed or feeling in the wrong or about this matters of the heart, about something not working out. It's like I was in grief, and that's why I was bitter and it couldn't manifest the right way. But this is over now, right? This is over. And that's the moment when you switch on that Knight of Coins. That's the moment when you're like, okay, that figures. I know what I have to do now, and I will do it. Let's start over, right? This is going to be so cool. One advice card from the universe, how to go about this. Three of Coins in reverse. Three of Coins. Yeah, well, it's a card of taking something to the next level. It can also be a card of networking and teamworking, right? It feels like, this is not only a sign to accept that something was not supposed to get to that next level, right? It's like, accept that it didn't work out as you planned it. Accept it. Accept that it's supposed to, right? But it also says, maybe it wasn't your fault after all, right? Maybe, the network wasn't right. Maybe the people you were working with weren't compatible with your vision, with whatever. Maybe something had to go or someone had to leave the party for you to be able to gain that full potential. Because the Three of Coins, like I said, it's a card of partnering up. It's a card of teamwork. So it's like Three of Coins in reverse is, it either means it's okay if it didn't work out, right? And someone needed to leave, whatever, and maybe that was you. And it can also mean, though, that you've been trying to do all this shit by yourself and you're actually struggling with working in a team. So it is a reminder that there are people that help you with this shit. You don't have to be all Nine of Swords-y thinking about everything at the same time, because it blocks you with that Eight of Coins in reverse. It blocks you from actually doing what you're good at and focusing on that, right? So that Three of Coins in reverse, it can mean exactly that. It's like, think about that teamwork, right? And dare to delegate maybe, right? Because it's tough for a Virgo, I get it. It's like, if people are not doing it right, I'd rather do it myself. Yeah, I get that. It kind of says, though, that You're overly controlling, you're micromanaging. Fuck that. You're gonna live so much better, and you're gonna be like, you get so much more of realize of this potential that you got here. When you stop micromanaging, when you stop being overly ambitious about it, and more trusting that it's gonna work out fine. I'm not saying so, like, drop it all, drop the ball. I'm saying keep on working at it, but just don't cling on to it. And if there's something that you're struggling with, ask for some help, right? And then you free yourself up to be that Knight of Coins, to be that, well, manifester, right? That's very beautiful. And that's pivotal for you. Like, you're really closing out a cycle of being overly active, of being micromanaging the bullshit, right? That's not your game, right? Something didn't work out in the past, that's fine, right? It doesn't mean you have to do it yourself though, right? Even if people fucked up in the past, a new cycle is going to bring in new people, right? So you are also manifesting the help you need. No, never forget that. It's like, if someone fucked up in your team and you're like, oh shit, now I have to do it myself. That's when you have to realize, like, okay, for the time being, you're doing it yourself and you're overworking and shit is not working out like that. But then you realize, the next one I ask to help me, he's going to do better, right? Because I now know what kind of help I need to manifest. That's cool. So don't get stuck in the feeling that, like, if you want to do it right, you have to do it yourself. That's bullshit. That's some old bullshit mindset. That's that Two of Swords right here, right? You're trying to protect your vision by holding on to the mindset that you got to do it yourself or it's not done right. Like, the moment you're opening up to the possibility that there are people out there that actually do it right in your sense of right, open up to the teamwork, again, even though it didn't work in the past, that's when you're able to delegate, let loose a little, let the universe work for you, and own your truth like that. Be that Knight of Coins. So freaking cool. You are in a very, very pivotal energy for you, Virgo. And this is really cool. It is rearranging. Might not seem easy, but the moment you trust the process, the moment you trust that this is supposed to shift, right? And trust the universe to supply you with help that you actually identify with, that you can actually need, right? That's when all is falling into place. You're closing out a cycle that has hindered you a long time from getting those coins, right? And now you realize, something wasn't sitting right, and I have to change my mindset about how we go about this. But it was supposed to be like that. And now we do shit differently. That doesn't mean alone, though. That doesn't mean alone. It's just like, let go of that grief and of this feeling of no one doing it right. Because that's that Three of Swords right there. It's like, no one's doing it the way I want them to do it, blah, blah, blah. The more you repeat this, it's like a fucking mantra, right? The more you think like, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. That's a mantra. The more you say it, the more it holds true. And that's what you're letting go of, that idea, right? That's the world closing. Just got to accept it, right? And let go of that coping mechanism. It's a beautiful energy to be in. And you're all for that Knight of Coins. That is a very beautiful energy to move in. There's your Ace of Coins. So you get what you want. That stability. Beautiful. Virgo, if that resonated with you, let me know. I'm always keen to get some feedback. Follow me around on Instagram. Follow my journey on Bali. And at the Spiritual Daywalker. And yeah, enjoy this energy. Enjoy this pivotal time. Trust the process. You got this. I love you.